Hey guys, really excited to bring this match to you. Um, this is my first match ever against Patty Wampus. He's got his own YouTube channel. You guys check him out. I'll link in the description. But he's a Wood Elf main. I'm a Skaven main. And this is our first match since the DLC dropped, or ever. We've never really gotten together. Managed to find the time to get together to play. But real quick, let's give this rundown because a lot of stuff happens within the first 3 minutes of this battle. We got a lot of Skaven slaves. We have Gorch in the woods, Packmaster in the woods, 3 sets of hounds over here to our right, 2 Poison Wind Globadiers. We have the Mortar, we have Warp Grinders, we have Ishka's Triad, we have both 2 other side sets of Eshin's Triads here. He's deployed forward. I'm almost positive to get these Globadiers because he knows I play them forward if I bring them. I know he watches my videos, so he knows I like to bring these things, and I'd like to get his comment. I'm hoping he'll cast this from his perspective, but yeah, I'm thinking that's why he's put all these here, just to try to snipe them out. And you see his target acquisition is pretty much on point. Like, not even though they were on fire at will, most of them didn't even get a volley off until they started shooting into the mortars. We're gonna fast push up because we can't have this. We can't have this at all. I'm gonna pull the mortars back. We're gonna fire 1 volley and then we're gonna pull back. But yeah, we can't have this at all. And in my panic to try to push this back, we rushed Triad forward because he has a lot of this Glade Cav back here. Easily crush these Skaven slaves before they get in range to pressure the archers. So we have the Triad in there with them. But as soon as he decides he can't shoot these mortars anymore, it's going to get super ugly for the Triad super fast. So I'm going to micro some of them away, but not all of them. We're going to push these mortars up. They have 100 armor, or the Globadiers, I'm sorry. So they're going to take a little bit of arrow fire, but they're not going to face tank it all right. But we can get in and we can start throwing. It was for the heavy cav, but I can see most of his army, if not all of it's out here. And he's got light cav, a lot of bow cav, a lot of bows, a lot of spears. So we're going to have to delete bows with the globes. We're going to have to delete spears with the bows. And also in kind of preparation for heavy cav, we brought the Gracier. He's got a lot of mass now. He also has the dreaded 13th spell and Vermintide, and that's it. So when you see a cav blob coming now, no matter what they hit, really they're going to get sticky. You'll see he's starting to micro into my Eshin's Triads here. We finally got back in the range to start shooting. We're just pushing with all these slaves. Eventually the spears are going to stop us, but we've pushed all of the ranged away. And he really doesn't have a lot of options when we're pushing the entire depth of the formation, except to either go really slow and go around, which we were going to catch you with more Skaven slaves, or the hounds. So now we've committed hounds to the back line to keep this stuff alive as long as we can and to put pressure on everything. But here shortly, if we haven't already, yeah, here shortly, you'll see this dreaded 13th spell at work. When heavy cav charges in, which he doesn't have any, our Packmaster gets routed off. You can really make them pay, and you'll see this right here. They blobbed. That's the dreaded 13th spell, and we just annihilated with the explosion both sets of Glade Riders with spears and got into the archers, and now they're stuck. They can't go anywhere. They were stuck a second ago by routing hounds, and now they're stuck. They've lost almost 3 units of cav, or by the end of this they will have lost 3 units of cav to that spell. Now it's 20 magic, but now it's actually useful. It's actually effective. Here comes the Brood Horde back for more. We're pushing up our mortars aggressively now because his bows have got so much to think about. We're holding these spears in reserve in the woods because we want to wrap around, but we don't want to waste them. He's got a lot on the field now that we can clean up, but they can also clean us up if they catch us in their periphery. Now it's going to come down into a battle in the woods with our Triad. We got to stop this up. We got plenty of mortar ammunition left, so we're going to have to try and use this mortar ammunition to shut down any bows he's got. When these horses come in and start cycle charging, it's going to be rough because we got a lot of Skaven slave garbage. We have the Packmaster. Right now our Gracier is running for the hills, and he should. But Gorch has gotten in here, and him and Orion have been having it out in this this big pack of stuff, and Gorge is really going to work. He has earned his keep. Even though Orion's anti-large, he's just in here beating the brakes off of Orion, and like the entire monster mash we had going on in here earlier with the Branch Wraith and all of the supporting units. But our mortar still cleaning up what's left. Our Triad holding strong against those wounded Eternal Guard. We're just, we don't want to commit the Pack Master. It's pretty much all of our leadership at this point, so we're just trying to clean up more spears. That's dangerous to us. This remainder of the Triad is in here fighting. They're fighting a good fight. But Gorge is running for the hills. Grayseer's back in business, but we don't have a lot of magic left. We're going to drop this summon of Skavens on him and try to goon him out real quick. He's really low, but Gorge had to leave, so he can potentially heal all that back. And we just can't have that. We don't know what the Branch Wraith has left for magic. He could get Orion back to life. And you see he's like face tanking. He finally goes down. We land a couple good attacks with the Packmaster. But he's got Cav out here. He's got a little bit of spears left. He's got a little bit of archers left. They're being chased down right now. And our Skaven slaves are going to catch them if they don't rout. But we really don't have a lot left either. Gorge is almost dead. Grayseer take one charge to the face. He's moving his archers like he should. He's killing the Globadiers, which is really the only thing that's going to hurt him too bad if he can keep this force alive. But with all leadership gone and the terror units on field, and he's running out of ammunition, his army breaks at the end. And we are going to claim victory there. Now Orion, even fighting and just in slave garbage, you see where he finds the good target and he makes some money for you. Branch Wraith, that's pretty good value. I mean, she fought some slaves. She dropped a good cast on top of the Triad, got half of their health. That's probably 400 of that value, to be honest with you. Eternal Guard, they didn't really get their value, but again, like we said, you're not getting your value against Skaven. In an infantry fight, it's just not. You're gonna have to kill 4 or 5 entire units of Skaven to do anything. Now the girls, these are the girls that got a hold of the Warp Grinders. My micro was off. I didn't get to trigger either ability. We could have got some decent kills, but in the end they would have trounced us either way. You got all the Deepwood, and I am a firm believer in Deepwood Scouts. I don't think you need Way Watchers. I don't think you need anything else. I think you need these, and maybe if you want to bring some Swift Shiver Shards, if you want to shoot like Gorge, would be a perfect example. You could have 2 of those, 3 of these, and Gorge would die to the Swift Shiver, and you could use these to do whatever you wanted to with. But this one I think they're 700. This one paid for itself. The other 2 really didn't. But again, Skaven slaves, lots of rush pressure. They did cut this to half health, and another volley or 2 it would have been gone. So arguably this is a really good choice. We just had a lot of pressure to keep him from achieving what he wanted to achieve there. The Glade Riders, if you remember, he made a comment after the game that he wished they were good. He did not see the spell that I dropped on him. I think his micro was elsewhere, and I didn't mention it when we were talking about it, but if you look, they got half their value, over half their value, both of them, and they got completely deleted by that spell. So if they'd have been alive the entire game, I probably wouldn't have won. They would have cleaned up everything on the periphery. The archers would have been allowed to shoot. The bow cav would not have had to been committed into melee charges. You see they got pretty decent value. They were on their way. Had they all been solid, and one of them not caught by that Storm Vermin spell that these 2 got killed by, had they not been running for their lives having to shoot Skaven slaves, like these guys would have been the game changer. And they still got half their value even though that happened. And it was just starting to be time for them to shine. They would have really shown. Both of these would have had 150 plus kills, and everything else would have benefited from that. So I don't think they're as bad as he kind of had the takeaway from that game. I don't think he saw the spell. And yeah, I enjoy them. I think they're extremely vital, especially in this match. But as you'll see on our side, yeah, the mortar, it's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to get that. It's not impressive. I mean, it does what it does. Now, these boys, Um, they're throwing in everything. Like they got super large amount of value, especially when you consider what was on the field. There wasn't like a lot of super high tier, high price stuff out here to make that value, and they did it. That group, of course, it paid for itself and then some. Essence Triad, they got close to paying for themselves, but they weren't used in the best manner. They got a lot of bow fire. Everybody caught a lot of bow fire in this one. This one, garbage. They got screwed up. This one's the one that fought the Eternal Guard. They got some value. They're still alive, but it's hard to make the low unit model count stuff really get, in my opinion, really get like a cost-effective trade in any sort of infantry engagement. Gorich, he was the stripped down version. There was nothing on him, so he got more than his value at 1600. So it is what it is. He got good value, and he was fighting Orion most of the time. So considering that, he got really good value. Packmaster, again, he didn't do a lot of damage value, but remember he was tanking. He was actually healing, and he was healing Gorich a little bit, and he has his abilities. So that doesn't really translate to value. Grey Seer, again, that's just his damage dealt in melee. That's probably a lot from fighting Orion, the little bit that he could stand toe to toe with him. It doesn't factor into spells, but that one spell probably killed. By the time the Skaven were done fighting, the Storm Vermin were done fighting, it probably killed over 100 cavalry units. Wolf Rats kind of got their value. When you consider what they did for us, they got their value. They soaked a lot of bow fire. They pressured that right flank. They created a situation where he couldn't really get any breathing room to redeploy all of his archers for the second time once we pushed him out with the slaves, and he broke the slave line. Had it not been for the dogs, we would have never been able to keep his archers offline long enough to become effective with what we had left. And the dogs, the wolves, they just really pulled it out right there. If you look at the damage they dealt, that tells more of a story, because what they were fighting was running Deepwood Scouts, Glade Guard, and some of the Glade Riders. So damage dealt means more in this to me than the value, if you're trying to figure out what they did and how they did it. But had it not been for them, we wouldn't have won the game. That's the only reason we won the game. They pressured that right flank. They denied any place to find a second line, and that was just that. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this match. It's the first time I used Gorich. I think he's pretty good. Even stripped down, he's good. I think with all the stuff on him, he's a little bit too expensive. But yeah, we'll see. But the real winner in this kind of matchup, to me, is the Dreaded 13. And as far as sticky units in general, the Dreaded 13th spell has become a spell now. You can severely punish even high tier cav with a spell now that they can't immediately pull away from what they charge. So keep that in mind, guys. You see a Grey Seer, you might want to use your cavalry, your heavy shot cavalry especially, extremely wisely until you bait this spell out, because it is 20 Winds of Magic. You can only do it twice, and then you get like 1 or 2 Vermintides maybe. So it is what it is. You bait this spell out once and get away from it, and it's totally lost its value. That's it. You probably won't see another one in the game. He's just probably going to try to get 5 or 6 Vermintides off at that point. But I hope you guys like the match. Like I said, I know I loved playing this match. I hope to bring you guys more. Let me know what you think about the match and the tactics and the Dreaded 13th spell in general. If you think it's now useful. If you think it was always useful, let me know. Alright guys, catch you in the next one. Peace.